And welcome to our ranch, A.G.F.C, our Ranch Arrogant Fun Channel Live. I'm your boy Brian, your electronic bartender at this electronic pub. Come on in, grab yourself your favorite seat, your favorite snack, your favorite drink. Sit back, relax, as we go over our world of air guns, air gun fun. Just kick back and enjoy each other's company for a while. Nothing real spectacular happening today. We're just a live stream on the fly. So how's everybody doing? Let's see, let's get back into the chat here. Let's see, we got 0 people with us. Well, in the back, we got our friend Mystic 22222, which we'll be bringing out here in just a short minute. We will conjure with him for a while, see what kind of mystic mysticism and wisdom he can bestow on us today. I think that's it. There's nobody here. There was 2, and I think Mystic was one of them. And let's see. Well, with no further ado, we'll hopefully get some people to come in and kick back with us for a while. So we go over today's activities and what's going on. So with no further ado, our friend Mystic 2222. Mystic. You there, Mystic?
Thou hast conjured me.
Thou has conjured you. Yes, he has. Let me shut this off. I might. Okay. Yeah, I'm streaming on a different computer today. It's this little notebook computer that Maymay 98 sent us, and because my Dell's on the fritz again. So we are streaming this way. How do I look? Do I look okay? Sound all right?
We both look okay. Sound all right.
Yeah, you're looking good. You're looking bright and sunshiny.
That is the problem. Once again,
That is the problem behind you.
Once again, I forgot to foil up the window, even after having lectured the 4-year-old on not taking things down that I put up.
So how you been doing, my friend? What's been going on?
Oh, I've been struggling a little bit, trying to get everything done in one day, somehow falling short.
Yeah.
Heat's been giving me a little bit of trouble. Not too bad, but been running into. Well, our biggest problem is that our fences are failing. Goats are getting out, and if they get into a neighbor's yard, we could be in serious trouble.
Right.
And the goats won't climb the fence while I'm patching it.
Okay. Yeah, they will.
I mean, literally climb it. Goats will climb just about anything.
They will. Goats are very tenacious little critters.
Yeah,
Little critters that they got their mind set to something, they do it.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of mule in their background there somewhere.
Right.
And they are fearless masochists, which makes it impossible to discipline them. Other than that, they're very cooperative.
Yeah, as long as you
I've
give
got
them
a lot
something
to
to
learn
eat.
about goat psychology.
How many goats do you got?
7 by last count.
7. Wow.
Mm-hmm. 2 males, 1 productive female, or no, 2 productive females and 4 yearlings.
I see. Okay. Well, good.
Yeah.
No, I
So
put out a video today earlier and got to go out and shoot the triple threat and have a little airgun fun today.
I
So that
saw
was.
that. I
I've
just
been
didn't have.
put on hold. I've been put on hold for a few days on my job.
Ah,
You know, was it two days ago? Somebody slammed into me while I was working,
that was very
and the
inconvenient.
Camry's pretty much totaled.
Ah,
My beautiful baby, my beautiful car is totaled out. It still drives, but I'm afraid to frame the fence
yeah,
because this guy in this either Ford or Chevy, I think it was a Chevy pickup truck, lifted, big old tires. He bounced right on top of me.
yeah.
He,
And he's got a frame, and you've got a unibody.
yep, no. So, who else did we just get popped in? Let me get rid of this artist this. Christopher, it sounded like somebody popped in, and it's our friend DG Outdoors.
Oh, good.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
DG, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, good. I'll stop in for a couple minutes, but Carissa's working a double, so she might call me by 9:30 and have me go pick her up. So
Okay.
a
Okay.
little bit.
Well, you'll definitely want to come back because I brought some show and tell today.
Oh,
You
you
brought
did.
show and tell today.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to Denny's after we pick her up. So if I come back in, I come back in. If not, I'll have to catch it on the restream side when the
Yeah.
video
Catch it
comes.
on the restream.
Yeah.
So how
How
you doing,
guys
DG?
doing? Oh, I'm good, man. Mowed the yard when I got home after work, so I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the heat's kind of getting to you too. We got 105 and 107 coming later this week.
Yep. I may be hitting up to 113 where I'm at.
Mhm. Good
I
news is that it
finally,
looks like a short-term heat wave, just like the last one.
it's
I
supposed to
certainly hope
rain
so.
around here.
Certainly hope so because well, at least we got AC this time. Last
Oh,
heat wave we had no heat. We had no AC.
your computer won't even run at that
Mine
temperature.
was jamming up.
What's that?
Your triple threat was jamming up.
Yeah, those howler slugs. These howler slugs, they fit in the 10-round magazines, but some of them didn't want to fly out of it.
Fledglings,
Fledglings, yes, sir.
reluctant fledglings. No, I don't want to go there just yet. I'm not ready.
No. They weren't ready to go out of that gun.
I wonder if there's a lip on there that's catching or something on that.
There's no detents,
Hmm.
so I don't know what the problem was. Is that it's that 8-inch barrel, I think.
Is it
'Cause I
just
put
the
the
8
6-inch,
barrel?
I put the 6-inch barrel back on, and they fire out of there perfectly.
Could be
I
a
think
burr
that
on the
barrel's out
barrel,
of alignment,
maybe.
but
But at least the gun's not useless. If you have to use a six, like you know what I'm saying, you have three
oh,
barrels
I
to
still
choose
got the
from.
6-inch and the 3-inch barrel.
Right.
Make sure the barrel's installed in the right direction.
That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm thinking. That 8-inch barrels might be defective. I might have to send the whole thing back. I
We
don't
got a
know.
new break barrel air rifle coming, but I'm not dropping the brand or why I got it.
I seen that. I seen that.
I will
Well,
say
good,
though,
man.
it was only we got it on Amazon and it was $69 after everything.
Really, that ain't bad.
No,
That ain't
no,
bad at all.
no.
You're not gonna tell us the name and the brand, huh?
No.
No.
Tune in
Save it
next
for the
week.
bid. Save it for the bid.
But I did hit 1,501 subscribers on my channel now.
You what now?
I hit 1,500 subscribers now.
Oh, good for you, man.
Well,
Congratulations.
1,501, but yeah, so
We're sitting at 714.
yeah, man, we're both growing.
A little bits at a time, little bits at a time.
Yeah.
You have to remember too, a lot of people are out on vacation.
Yeah.
Well, and every time I post a video, I make a short with it of a clip from that, and shorts are what grows your channel right now.
Yeah, that's very important.
So,
When you don't have a regular schedule,
I gotta
it's
get
like,
better at it.
well, the thing
I
is,
suck at these shorts, because you get 60 seconds. You have either 15 or 60 seconds,
you know, yeah.
and I can't seem to get anything interesting enough done in 60 seconds, a minute.
You know what I've done the last couple videos?
What's that?
So a shooting segment you'll see in the short never made it in my actual video because I'll film the video and then I'll just do a shooting sequence where I take like 5 shots and then put music over it and promote my other video that way. That way I don't have to do something special like in the video or sometimes try to crop it. Because trust me, I know what you're talking about. And a whole 7-minute video trying to find the most interesting part and find a way to edit it is sometimes really hard to do.
So you're taking actual clips from a video you've already previously filmed and making shorts with them.
So when you upload your video, you can there's a remix button underneath, and you hit that, and you can
I've never seen this remix, but I've heard you talk about it, but I've never once seen this remix video button.
You know what? I wonder if it's a feature if you have so many subscribers.
I have no idea.
Me either. But sometimes for a short, like I'll film my whole entire video, and then it'll just I'll purposely do a shooting segment with that gun that I just reviewed for 1 minute, and then I'll go through and use that as the short for the video. But I'll title it the same exact thing. That way it promotes my other video. I don't know.
So are you saying that the remix button allows you to take a short clip, or what's the word I want?
And I can even remix. So like I can remix audio from someone else's video. So like I had a short. My buddy retired Rambler wished me happy birthday, and in one of my happy birthday shorts, I actually cropped his message and put it over a video of me shooting my bow. It'd be kind of cool. You can remix sound and all kinds of stuff. Go click on one of the old videos and see if underneath it on YouTube, if it has a remix, it'll say remix. You might have to scroll.
I'll look again. I've looked all over YouTube, all the settings and in the settings and.
You click on the actual video, and you know how underneath it'll say like share or whatever.
Yeah.
It's in that bar, like right underneath your video on that black strip. It'll say like remix, crop, whatever it says. I don't know.
Okay, I'll check it out.
So then you can replace the pop sound with phaser fire.
Or you can take that clip and just put cool music over it, or the song that you like or whatever. But you can do a 15-second remix or a 60-second remix. And it'll literally take your video and let you drag to the best part of your video, whatever you want to showcase as your short.
Very interesting. All right. Well, I'll have to continue to look into it.
And efficient.
So you got my curiosity up, Mystic.
Okay. Well, so I would like to start a new airgun topic.
All right.
Okay.
As you know, I haven't been a blind champion of ballistic energy, focusing more on payload delivery and performance. I'd rather effectively deter whatever's threatening me at a moment's notice than put all my hopes for survival on a single-shot cannon that can't do anything but destroy a single threat that may not even be susceptible to a high-speed high power projectile, which might not
Right.
even be available anymore by the time I need it. So I choose delivery systems like slingshots that can literally throw anything that I can, just a lot harder, and air guns like the Blitz that can actually do crowd control if that's what's suddenly needed. The rest of my focus is on expanding functionality of the projectiles. No one's going to be becoming concerned about when they see my soda straw or even my spit wads. But where I spit, grass does not grow.
Right.
So, being creatively restless, I'm kind of bored with all our old cans of worms, and I want to open a new can.
Okay.
A
Crack it
new,
open.
yeah, a new topic, a new field of exploration, research, and experimentation. We have a new kind of ammo to explore: bot beaters.
Bot
Beaters.
beaters.
Yes, as in robots and drones.
So robotic ammunition.
No, ammunition against robots.
Oh,
Well,
Designed to
why
take
not?
down robots and drones.
okay.
What about an EMP?
EMP will do it,
That's
Yeah,
what
and that's
but
that's
an
what people
EMP
have
will also
been
knock out all
developing,
your electronics and electronics around you. It's not. You can't focus an EMP.
and it's technically difficult, and it can be hazardous to the shooter because if you don't design it right, it can bleed back at you. It can reflect off of things and come back at you. It's kind of like a Daisy Red Ryder.
I think you're going down the same path of something I seen on the internet earlier today.
Yes. So a
Hold
lot of
on.
people on YouTube, a lot of people on
Yes,
YouTube
it is.
have been converting microwave oven emitters into EMP blasters, but they typically have a very short range. Um, they they're broader than a shotgun, so they're not focused enough.
Yeah.
The expertise required to focus such a beam, well, such a cone into a beam, is not something you'd want to put up on YouTube. I wouldn't recommend it.
they'll probably shut you down for trying to modify stuff on YouTube.
No, it's out there.
I'm just saying, like nowadays, like they don't even like you doing a lot of stupid stuff with firearms.
Well,
Like,
no, first time I got shut down was as a commentator on Maccabee Speed, merely saying that I wanted to. In fact, you were the one that asked me, DG, what what did I want to do? What did I want to put on YouTube? And I said, well, no, maybe I shouldn't say it. Don't want to kill the
Right.
balloon.
Be careful. Be careful. Don't want this one to be tagged away.
Yeah, it's basically just saying families have a right to stay alive, you know.
Right.
And I wanted to teach that. And that was it. Not just that comment, but every comment I made in that whole show was gone, and I was gone for a day.
Dang.
Yeah,
the one time, like back whenever I first met Maccabee Speed, I remember being on one of his live streams and trying to comment. And because I don't think I was subscribed to his channel for more like less than 10 minutes, it wouldn't
yeah,
let me do anything.
yep,
And then it
Yeah,
just
you
got
got
to
to
the
be
point where I was
subscribed.
there
Yeah.
trying to talk to him, but he had so many people there commenting or whatever. It was like you never got your word in. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Right. Yeah, it's hard when you're in a live stream with a big crowd that Maccabee draws.
yeah.
Well,
Maccabee, he draws anywhere from 25 to 75 to 125.
Well,
He'll draw a big crowd of people.
that's
and it's
just
like,
that's what he limits it to,
Yeah.
and I like
precisely because he
listening
only
to
wants people who contribute.
I like listening to airgun podcasts, but here's the problem. Every airgun podcast you listen to is the newest and greatest thing, and and it's like, what's new out here? It's like, I'm just a dude that's going to buy $100 brake barrel and going out shooting it and having fun. I don't have
Yeah.
$600-700 to drop on an
No.
AA
No.
30 caliber, whatever.
Yeah, you have to be very judicious.
No.
On the other hand, you can buy a lot of slingshots.
I have two.
You know,
And
they
those
can't
we've been
fit in
doing
the
it.
Indian.
Guys, we've been doing this for some time now, right? And it makes me wonder. And there's somebody. Welcome to our ranch, A.G.F.C. Come on into the chat. Let us know who you are.
Hello.
Join us in this airgun fun community, ramblicious, whatever.
and your timing is impeccable. We were just about to get interesting.
Yeah, we are going to get interesting here.
I got
So
some
this,
new steel targets for the air gun range. I'm waiting on the rest of them to come, and then I'll drop a video about it.
All right. All right. Well, with no further ado, Mystic's video's up and ready to run.
okay.
Let's go ahead and get into it. And this is, ammunition against robots.
Yeah,
Okay.
YouTube shouldn't care about robots, right? Or do
Right.
they have the same rights we do?
Not yet.
John Patton, and today, guys, I am bringing you a guest that is sort of on the bleeding edge of tech adjacent to the gun industry, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy this. But first, we're going to get to our sponsors. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/TGC and use our code TGC. You get yourself a little bit of a discount. You can get our Tenacity Blend coffee with that discount. It's beautiful. It's got low acidity and
So it starts getting interesting at 3.5 minutes, but it's not bleeding edge; it's oil leaking, you guys.
a little bit of extra caffeine in it. And if you don't like coffee, you don't care about coffee, you can check out their tea or hot cocoa. I would really appreciate it. You can also use that same code TGC over at vertex.com to get yourself a sweet bag. They've got gun bags.
Brian,
You're still there? Can you hear me, Mister?
Yeah, I hear you. Kind of hollow, but yeah,
Hold on a second.
probably because you're too far away from the mic. But yeah,
My audio is all blocked out. That's me again.
it just sounds really.
Hold on.
it kind of sounds like a maxed out compressor, audio compressor.
Sitting there at a loss. Here, guys. All right. This is about just keep talking. Can you hear me, Mister?
I hear you. Just
I have no idea. But this little laptop just does not cut it. It just doesn't cut it.
yeah, I would have thought. Did we lose DG?
It's like everything, my whole audio, my mic, my everything.
Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2.
Uh-huh.
And I still don't have you listed. I have no idea what the heck's going on. God bless it.
Okay.
Now I'm getting pissed.
Yeah. Well, your voice is back.
Now I'm just pissed.
So it froze up. Is that what you're saying?
There you go. Mystic?
Yeah. Are you hearing me?
Okay, now I got you back.
Okay.
Oh, man, these technical difficulties that run into me. But no wonder nobody comes to the show because it's just filled. It's been filled with technical difficulties since the beginning. I've been ranked with it.
Well, hopefully it's provided them some comedic relief.
Right? And then my camera's all off. So I janked my camera.
We could start a whole new channel, the bloopers channel.
The bloopers channel, right?
Nothing but bloopers.
All right, well, that's going to have to do.
Yeah.
We'll just run with this.
Okay. So yeah, they were starting an advertisement, but their real talk starts at 3 minutes 30 seconds.
3 minutes, 30 seconds. All right.
And of course, I wasn't going to have us play all the way through an hour. So I'm
Okay,
not
3 minutes, 30 seconds. Here we go.
Pop quiz. What's the best way to get your guns to prepare for what's coming and avoid future gun control? Is it A, buy your gun?
Yeah, so I'm going to reach a little far over here
We
so I
still
can
playing?
grab.
And I know I've looked at the website. I talked to Dan,
Right.
and guys, the amount of different products they're making is absurd. But we're try and simplify this. Okay, let's
Right,
see.
so here is a very quick example of a pneumatic and a center fire robo round. So inside of each of these is powdered metal. And the idea is if you can introduce powdered metal into a robot's system, you can cause certain things that computer systems and regular robots experience. For instance, under high pressure, tin will whisker. And so it will cause little bitty tiny hairs to grow between circuitry and posts and little metal wires, which can cause errant, unwanted movements. An unfortunate but accurate description would be maybe Parkinson's, where you have a shaking of the motor function that isn't desired, and as much as you want that to stop, you can't make it stop. Introducing that magnetic powders, powders that will whisker, conduct electricity. There's a whole bunch of them.
So
But then,
is the idea for this metallic tin powder to try and penetrate and then just make whatever you're shooting it at, for lack of a better term, freak out? Like, is there conductivity? Does, first of all, I don't know this. Well, I guess solder maybe. Does tin conduct electricity? Am I dumb?
Tin tin and zinc will not only conduct electricity, but in fine, smaller hairs, they will allow for jump circuits. And
so you could really fry something.
You can do some crazy stuff. So imagine a piezoelectric crystal, which imagine silicon and magnetite in powdered form. And then you can get some really complex stuff once you start mixing combinations like copper and aluminum along with lead. And so you have different powders that will have a negative charge and some that have a positive charge. And in small, minute forms under impact and stress and pressure, these will do different things. So the idea is to affect not only, a high-powered round will just go right through a robot. And we've proven that you can put a hole right through a lithium battery, and if it doesn't catch fire, it can still work. So they have examples of robots taking a round directly through its central processing unit or its battery and it keeps going. So we have to do something more. You have to introduce.
We have to change the playing field a little bit.
Yeah, robots don't hemorrhage. They don't experience that remorse or fear that, the Terminator discusses. But you have to be more proactive, and you have to introduce something into their sensors that can block, not only block internal stuff, but also external stuff. So then you start getting into robo rounds, the pneumatic version, which here is a metal version, here is a plastic version.
So for those of you that are just listening, these look like little paintballs. Really, that's what it's all about. Barton, we didn't talk about this before we went and started recording here, but you have stumbled into a conversation with a chemistry nerd. So I absolutely love the idea of all different materials and then the sort of chemical and physical properties thereof. This is exciting to me. I'm geeking out already about this. So you're showing these pneumatic projectiles. Will they work in a regular paintball gun?
So I brought some physical props. Obviously, you recognize the Valken submachine gun here, pneumatic, of course, and you have the pepper ball gun, pistol form. But something that we like to use is the Empire or the Dyer paintball guns, because they shoot the exact same diameter. And we make an aluminum tube that holds 10 rounds specifically. We had to have these made. We kind of went to a company that makes cigar tubes and had them make specifically ones that will hold 10 rounds.
Okay.
And they fit right on the top. And all of a sudden you have something that can shoot very quickly 10 rounds. 10 rounds that can put out a fire. 10 rounds that can a vehicle or
Tired of spending money on disposable lighters? Then this innovative lighter is for
I think we
you.
got
Incredible
the idea.
electric dual light.
Was there more that you wanted to watch of it?
Yeah. So.
And I just closed it out.
Okay. So I'll just
hold on.
I'll talk over it while you.
I got it back. I got it back.
Yeah. So it actually covers a lot more than bots. It includes rounds that extinguish fires, mark targets for tracking, disable attackers, and even dissolve metals.
Right.
So they go into that.
A round that can be dropped onto a plane that will slowly melt through it. So one of the rounds we have is a gallium round. And the gallium round is
really kidding me.
Oh, no. So these are warmed to about 100 degrees right before they're used, and they liquefy. And when gallium gets onto aluminum, and I encourage all of your viewers to go and check out Amalgamation, but when some metals touch other metals, one of the metals goes yum, 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 and just gobbles up the other metal right in front of your eyes. So if you put gallium onto aluminum and then come back in a few hours, you can put your finger right through the aluminum. So don't put it on your computer. You'll put your hand right through your computer. But, most planes are made of aluminum. And
there's a reason that FAA and whatever, TSA and all that, you literally are not allowed to take gallium
Slingshot
on
Warrior.
a
commercial
stream. Airliner because of it.
It's dangerous stuff. You don't have to do anything to it. It just has to touch it.
Yeah, it has to touch. It essentially has to touch bare aluminum, which in most commercial settings is rare to see bare aluminum. But if it does, through a scratch or some other thing that's not oxidized, you have this material that can amalgamate with the aluminum and literally destroy it from within. It is fascinating stuff.
So this all kind of comes from I am a former Navy EOD diver, and I like to collect elements. So I have a museum quality collection of elements, and one day I kind of put that together when I thought about Pepperball. Now I think Pepperball is a great product. They make a really fantastic product. I have absolutely nothing but salutes and kudos. But if I went to you, you seem to have a bunch of really great firearms on your wall.
Just a
and
couple.
I said, all of them shoot a 22 long rifle. Nothing more. Nothing. Period.
Okay.
Nothing more. You would pretty much be very excited if I said you had a second round, hollow point, armor piercing, tracer, and all of a sudden there became a cornucopia of fruit flavors. You would want to try them all out. Well, the pepper ball gun shoots a plastic ball full of peppered CS powder. My EOD is kicking in here. I guess that's pava powder or in the military.
Like capsaicin and concentrated. Yeah.
But what if you instead replaced that with fire extinguishing powder? And you could now put out remote fires, hard to access fires, like on the forward of a ship or in a high rise. Or if you put a glow in the dark or a UV or an IR glowing powder, you could say mark every tank on the field and then watch them from a screen like a video game, and then send what you want their way without having to. They couldn't hide.
So let's slow this down a touch.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna run through all this and I'll be lost. So the fire extinguishing rounds, is that something that you can sell to just anybody, or is, because I know some of these you may not be given permission from the government overlords to sell certain things to certain people. What about these fire extinguishers? Is that like a viable solution for a home?
Yeah, like here are the fire extinguishing rounds, and you can
literally
put inside
just
of
like
them
paintballs.
Yeah, they're just plastic version of a paintball or a pepper ball, and inside is whatever kind of fire retardant you would like, whether it's purple K or A.G.F.C powder, the kind you would find in a standard fire extinguisher, or maybe it needs to be something sure, like to fight fires on a ship. But also imagine a fire in a courtyard in a prison. This could be put out remotely without having to go into the prison yard, or a riot in the middle of the street. You could arm a drone to just fly around this, or one of those little walking dogs, and they could just put out the fire and then come home.
So is it feasible? The first thing that comes to my mind is, how would I use that in my sort of day-to-day? And the only time I don't think I could reach a fire physically, like get close to it, would be like, say, an electrical fire up on a power pole or something like that. In this area, transformers blow, fire, like wires and all that kind of stuff. Do you have a formulation that could function in that scenario? Is that possible?
So electrical fires are really hard to put out.
Same thing. That's why I asked.
Like a dumpster fire. But imagine if you're on a ship and the forward compartment of the ship is on fire. There's only one way to put that out, and that's from inside the ship, because there's no other ship out at sea to come help you.
Sure.
But if a drone could, say, several drones could fly around the forward compartment on the outside while people fought it from the inside, and then just continually go back and re-up with more of these rounds, much like a crop dusting drone does, where it fills up with fluid, does crop, goes back, fills up. Same principle. You could almost use the crop dusting drones, but also from these weaponries, most of these systems reach 300 and 400 yards.
And wow.
Yeah, they are not yards. Sorry, feet.
Okay. I was going to say, wow.
Forgive me. I'm constantly having to go back and 14 feet in yards, and
yeah, I can imagine that stuff.
But the
warning, you could soon lose your job because of what's happening inside this building you see behind me.
These can reach the top of a tree, a smokestack. These can reach the top of a telephone pole or a chimney. These can reach down into the bottom of an air duct system, the very, very end in the back of a tunnel. A lot of places where a fire hose or a fireman or first responder can't reach.
Yeah, and not only that, but you open up and this is just one aspect, guys.
Yeah.
So you open up this idea that armed with the smaller pepper ball launchers, like I've got one that's a flashlight that has more than that singular function of firing a projectile, but a first responder or somebody in some sort of prepper kit could have a setup like a safety-minded setup of these things, and be able to put out something in this instance that we're talking about, put out something from farther away. They don't have to get up close, because firefighting is dangerous. It's not like this is not a faint of heart type career. So being able to do that as a untrained civilian and at least try to get ahead of it with these sorts of things, that's a really interesting product. But then on top of that, we've got this like, hey, we're going to save the world from fires, and we're going to help people with fire. And then you've got this gallium capsule or round or whatever you want to call it, the robo round. And that is to wreak havoc on raw aluminum. What else? I mean, where else are you going with?
There's some really fun ones. So one of them, the jammer round, has 3.
What is the jammer?
The jammer round will block LiDAR and radar.
How? How do you do that?
So I tried to follow the same principle as World War II air blast chaff. And then I said, okay, well, I used to work also as a defense contractor for BAE Systems.
Okay.
And the C-130 chafe deployment system, you're really just making something brighter than what the camera can focus on, and it becomes its main target. And so certain things LiDAR can't see through, certain combinations of powdered metals, and that specifically I won't give away, but we were able to set up a LiDAR radar up and then put a glass partition, and then I stood in front of it and we fired it, and it just completely blinded and whited out the entire screen for a good 30 seconds. So this would block a drone vision or robot vision, but it can also block the camera at the end of a hallway. A lot of this stuff is for clandestine and harassing and things for the military, but there's also some really clever rounds in here. One of them is called the slipper.
Okay.
And the slipper round turns the floor into a slippery floor. Like
you have created a Home Alone cartridge.
Yes. Yes. And so do the the Scooby Doo spin your legs, you're not going anywhere. So imagine, if you will, a shooter in a school or a building, someone who has access to a smooth floor hallway. When you deploy this, they can't kick in a door, they can't fight, they can't run. All they can do is the Scooby-Doo and face plant, get up, Scooby-Doo and face plant. And so it can be really handy, but when it's done, it sweeps up or vacuums up. It isn't a solvent, so it doesn't leave it on the floor.
So wait. That's a powder.
It's a powder.
See, my instant thing is, you're firing little capsules of oil.
Or graphite or something that's going to stain it but make it really slippery. We also have one that fires oil that blurs glass. And if you've ever tried to get mineral oil off of glass, it ain't happening.
It's awful. It's not a good time.
I got to get a hold of this company. I got to get a hold of this guy.
We really try to go out and see just how far and wide you could take this, what you could, an entire division that's dedicated to utility, an entire one that's dedicated towards more military applications. But the one that's making all of the 3- and 4-letter agencies call is the robo round version of the Tangler.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna make you full screen here. People have got to see this. So, what the heck is that? It looks like you're holding up a little Death Star.
Isn't that funny? It is. It's like it's actually it's a small moon. Sorry for any of you nerds out there.
That's good. That's a good reference.
So, I realized that, like everything else, you need a secondary effect. And so inside of these rounds, and these are 3 different versions, and we're testing more, here you can see, inside of these rounds, and the reason they're opaque is because we're specifically gluing them and not ultrasonically welding them, which is how these are all made.
So these are prototypes, essentially.
These are prototypes, and we have an ultrasonic welder also, but we can make them a lot faster with glue. And then once we figure out what works, we can mass produce them with an ultrasonic welder and a large jig.
That makes sense.
But what these do is, they impact a drone and will break the arm of a drone or the rotor. But inside is 10 inches of dog tag chain or fan pull chain. And that is a secondary aspect that then gets thrown up and caught in the rotors, tangling itself in the rotors. And what that will do is it will create a different length of spinning object for a moment.
Artlist creators, want to share your work with the world and get featured on our socials? Use Artlist in your video.
Slowing it down, centrifugal force, and it makes the drone compensate very quickly for this mistake in the rotor being slowed or pulled on, and it will instantly correct and flip. And so this gets tangled in the drone after it impacts, and usually it'll break the arm or break the motor on the drone.
So you have this initial impact of the whole of the projectile.
Yeah.
And then inside the projectile is this chain-like material or actual chain, the ball chain, and that added weight is something that the drone is trying to compensate for and will likely overcompensate, especially if you hit it with multiple rounds. So not only do you have pushing it away from its guided path, which is a problem for it, you impact it, you break it, maybe you get lucky and bring it down with that, but then you have this added benefit of, you said, making it flip over.
Yeah, it's so the first 2 drones that we shot out of the sky.
What a sentence.
So let me be very specific. We went to a military base, and we flew a drone at 10 feet, going about 10 knots, and we hit it. And when you slow down the footage, you can see the round exploding on the arm, and the chain gets caught in the rotor, and the rotor slows visually, because you can see when on video footage you can see the slower the rotors.
Right.
This one instantly changes RPM drastically, and it flips the drone over instantly. So it fell out of the sky. So we were like, hey, great.
Wow.
This did exactly what we thought it would do. The next drone we shot out of the sky, we did it at 20 feet, going about 20 knots. And this time it broke the arm holding the motor. And so when that broke, the drone then folded its rotor into itself and kind of started smacking itself around. But before it could fall out of the sky, the second robo round hit the bottom, and it physically knocked it over. So these are like a kinetic impact. They weigh about twice as much as a pepper ball or a paintball. But their secondary application is when they get caught in the drone, it will do one of 3 things. It'll either break a blade, shearing it clear off. 2, it'll slow the rotor down. And if it slows it down enough, the spindle that holds the rotor on will suddenly be torquing at 1 RPM while the rotor is slowed, and it will break that little Allen wrench nut that holds the blade on, and it will just fly away. And so the rotor will just come right off the drone and fly away like a little helicopter blade. And this we put this all on YouTube if you want to see the footage. It's all.
Where is this on the Robo Rounds channel?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have like 8 questions that just rattled into my brain as you're explaining that. I'm just so excited about this. So, in reality, the amount of drones currently flying people's houses, and because I immediately think civilian use, obviously there are tons and tons of clandestine uses and overseas, yes, obviously military application. But for my audience, I think one of the more interesting things would be, do they fit into a shotgun shell?
So we did some really interesting stuff. We wanted to see what different RPM and FPS, sorry, not RPM, but FPS out the barrel, what it would do.
Sure.
The faster they go, they obliterate. So when you fire, you can load I imagine you could load a shotgun shell full of these, the ball chain, but at velocity will probably come apart. They're pretty weak. Well, usually, how often have you broken the fan chain?
So I fired a plethora of exotic shotgun ammo. I have fired almost everything under the sun. And one of the challenges with the bolo round, which is 2 lead balls connected by a cable, the challenge with the bolo round is that the ball ends up coming off the end because lead's too soft. When you fire something that is individually lightweight, like a small chain like that, it's never going to carry the velocity to get to a drone if you just load that in there. So you almost have to, I mean, you could kind of make a field expedient round, now that I think of it, pour some wax in there, but then you created a slug at that point. So
but what's
the
surprising
idea
is
is
what's the firing range on most shotgun shells? It's accuracy to what, 50 yards?
I honestly don't have a good answer for that because there are so many variables.
Yeah.
But I would say that inside of 100 for sure. Inside of 100.
You may have noticed with my AR-15 right here that there's no serial numbers, no markings of it, is because the best way to get.
So is that it? I don't know.
These are so what makes those special is collateral damage. And the reason, so to defend an airport from drones, if you miss the drone, where does your bullet go? Into a neighborhood, a school, or a plane? If you're on an embassy, how do you defend your airspace over an embassy when if you miss the drone, it's going to hit a foreign country and you've now fired upon not only your ally, but if you're in a foreign country that's not an ally, then you've just fired upon their country.
Yeah,
so
that's essentially an act of war if you miss.
So these fall out of the sky, and if they land on you, it may be annoying, but it's going to break your window. It's not going to damage your vehicle. It's not going to kill someone. So you can fire these on full auto out of a second and fill the sky with 80 feet of chain in 4 seconds. So that's the whole point.
I want to do that so badly.
yeah, it's really neat. It's a lot of fun. And I will say this, the first question we usually we get asked a lot, how are you able to shoot down? Shooting down drones is a really, really, really touchy thing.
Sure.
But therein lies Title 49, which that's a big no-no. So I would simply recommend your audience look up Title 6. Title 6 explains how to do that. Now, granted, there is a process, but if you follow that process, there is, armed drones and weaponized drones are not recreational drones. And so we have to make certain distinctions, and we can't make them afterwards or else it's too late. And so, drones, because of the before the Ukrainian war, I got a lot of pushback because that was considered absurd. A drone being used in a time of war, and if it was going to be a really big one. But then all of a sudden you see off-the-shelf DJI drones dropping grenades and mortars, and then people starting to modify them. And now you've got drones flying up behind other drones and blowing up like a claymore and knocking them out of the sky.
It's really fascinating watching it happen.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw a video
terrifying.
that came out recently of a guy surrendering to a drone.
Yeah,
like that. I mean, it's the future is now.
Well, it's very exciting at first, but then it becomes very quickly heartbreaking to see all this footage of these mortars and grenades being dropped because they're so small at 100, 200 feet in the sky. You can't see it, and it sees you perfectly. And someone else is just dropping these like it's a game. And there's no pilot, and they're inexpensive. And wartime drones are $100, $200, and they can. Have you ever seen what a drone can do when it drops a titanium dart from 400 feet?
No, I haven't.
Through a car, through the car seat, and stick in the bottom of the car.
Wow.
So drones are really dangerous. They're also really fun, but it's a new world. And then there's that new video of the drone dropping off the weaponized drone dog, the little robot dog.
I have not seen
this.
this.
The rooftop. This is in China.
Okay.
And it's a 4 to 6 rotored small drone, and it is carrying a 4-legged small dog robot. and on top of the dog robot is an M16 AR-15 style weapon, and the drone to a rooftop and drops it off and flies away.
So this thing deploys a little killer robot dog.
Yeah, and it goes through and it clears a building, and there's
Lord.
targets in the rooms, and so, you know, here's a fun. I never thought I'd be quoting, Greta Thunberg. Yeah, right. As she jokes, hey, this world you said you were gonna, have all these problems with when the kids of the future are born. Well, I'm that kid, and I think it's funny. We've all spent our lives, not afraid of zombies, but we've spent centuries afraid of robots. Look at the old movie Metropolis. We've been afraid of automaton creatures forever, and we've really been afraid of zombies since the 1940s and 50s and 60s movies.
Right.
So really the real fear is what are you're not afraid of artificial intelligence becoming as smart as a person, because then it will reason to not kill me. I'm afraid of AI becoming as smart as an ant, because an ant.
There we go.
Yeah. So I brought this up so
Imagine noise.
The whole thing, but I would like you to review the whole thing, and then
studio quality audio.
Next time you could come back and bring up whatever topics you want on the subject, including thinking about things that you want to do. Because if you look at that, most everything he was doing there, we could do at home.
Right. And I've contemplated on it. They have on Amazon, you can buy the empty two half spears.
Yeah.
You can buy the empty shells.
And you can glue them together.
Fill them up with whatever you want.
Yeah, and those little ball keychains he was talking about, you can buy them anywhere with tags, but they're too short. But you can buy these ball chains by the inch or by the foot at any craft store, such as Michael's.
Right.
This has also been tested by a Tauffeliter mouse, along with hundreds of other things that can be blown out of a 12 gauge or a 72 cal barrel. So, once again, I'd like to direct people to that channel, to Tauffeliter mouse, for many years of questionable ideas, such as dimes, ice, wax, steel wool, stones, darts, motor commutators, batteries, arrows, screws, washers, nuts, projectiles designed and crafted from all over the world, and even an antique rocket-propelled round.
Yeah.
It's just full of ideas.
Well, the one that's come to my, to my mind is, just simple. We all got BBs. Making shotgun shell rounds.
Yeah. But the thing about BBs is that they're so small, there's no room on the inside. The thing about the 72 cals and 12 gauge, they got so much room inside, you can put a lot of things in there.
Yeah.
So I would like, I'd like everybody to go back and look at that video and come back with your ideas, and also think about try to think of ways too that we could cram active payloads into smaller calibers like 30 and 45.
Yeah.
You can't squeeze much into a magazine like on the Blitz, but you remember though, you have the whole length of a breech loader to hold something like an 8-inch dart or a can of something on the end of a rod.
Yeah.
Like a mortar kind of thing. So that's more where I focus my attention, because there's so much you can do there. It makes it such a multi-tool.
Right.
For so many different scenarios.
And there's launchers. There's launchers like the Burna TCR and the HDR 68. They're all 68 caliber, but there's they go down to 43 caliber. These markers, and we got the markers we got the machines to deploy these rounds, but it's coming up with the rounds itself.
Yeah, and because they aren't overpowered, they don't produce the massive noise that gives away your position.
Right.
and they don't overpenetrate. Like the neighbors are not in any danger if something goes off.
Well, it is food for thought, and we will investigate this and on further with this new idea for new how would you say less than lethal rounds, less than lethal projectile.
They can be whatever lethality you want. And Slingshot Warrior, if
They
you're
can
still
be.
there, or anybody else who's using slingshots, all of this applies to slingshots too. It's the new great equalizer.
Crazy stuff. Let's invent it. Well, Mystic, listen. Thank you so much for being on, Mystic. And again, your wisdom is impeccable, and your thoughts and your ideas are fascinating. I love having you on. But we're going to go ahead and end this right here and say goodnight. And we will continue on this for the next one, okay?
Yeah, and it's good to have someone to talk to about all this.
I will do some research and try to put a show together on this. Okay? All right, buddy.
You bet.
So, everybody else, I want to thank you, Slingshot Warrior, our own one and only viewer. Thank you for coming in and joining us for a little while. I don't believe you're hearing, but that's all right. And everybody else who will be seeing this, just a thumbs up. Like and subscribe. Be part of the family here at our branch, A.G.F.C. So this is your boy, Brian, and Mystic coming at you saying good night. God bless you. And I think we all have a great and we'll see everybody now in the next one.
Yeah. You all come back now, you hear?
If I get this stream to end.